Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnana-shalakaya Chakshuramritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurava Bhistam Supurakam Guruvanara Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Vedanipanam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govinda Bidam Ujwalam Bharatanam Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Bande Vishwa Guruncha Divyat Bhagavad Prem Nawe Bijapradam Devam Divyatanum Suchanda Bharanam Balarka Chelanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sareka Bharanam Vairagya Jambudim Sri Siddhanta Nidim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Vandetam Shubharam Mareka Sharanam Nyasishvara Sridharam Mansha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Bhavenibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabharanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're reading from Garga Samhita by Sri Garga Muni, with a translation done by Kushakratha Prabhu. And this is the second canto that's called Vrindavana-khanda. And this, we'll start chapter 8. Description of seeing Lord Krishna. Sri Narada said, not seeing the calves, returning to the riverbank, and not seeing the gopas, and then searching in the forest for them, Krishna thought, this must be Brahma's work. Then to please the cows and gopis, Lord Krishna, who is the creator of the universe, made himself into the calves and boys. In other words, he expanded himself as the calves and boys. Whatever were the gopas and calves' forms with their hands, feet, and other parts, whatever were their sticks, horns, and other possessions, whatever were their characters, qualities, and other features, and whatever were their clothes, ornaments, and other things, Lord Krishna perfectly copied. In this way, he proved the Vedic statements, Sarvam Vishnu Mayam Vishvam, the entire universe is Lord Vishnu. As the sun was setting on the western horizon, Krishna, herding calves that were in truth himself and accompanied by gopas that were also himself, playfully entered Nanda's village. The many gopas, who were all Krishna, led the various calves, who were also Krishna, to the respective barns. Then the gopas entered their homes. Hearing the sound of the flute, the gopis fainted and then suddenly stood up. As milk flowed from them, each embraced her son. Seeing their calves, the cows mooed. They licked the calves with their tongues and made the calves drink their milk. In this way, all the gopis and cows became Krishna's mothers. Their love for their children became 4 times what it had been. As they embraced, bathed, massaged, and in other words, in other ways, served their sons, the gopis now gazed on Lord Krishna. The millions of gopi girls who were all deeply in love with Krishna were married to the many gopa boys, who at that time were all forms of Krishna. In the circle of Raja, 1 year passed with Krishna disguising himself as both the calves and gopas. He was the calves and he was the gopas protecting the calves. On the day when there were only 5 nights remaining to complete the year, Krishna and Balaram went to the forest as they herded the calves. From far away on the summit of Govardhan Hill, the cows ran to their calves, licked their bodies, gazed on them, and made them drink the nectar of their milk. O king, the cowherd men saw the calves, who had already drunk their mother's milk, staying below Govardhan Hill, and they saw the cows, overcome with love for their calves, also staying there. As the men came down from the hill to herd the cows, they suddenly came upon their own sons. Meeting them, the Gopa men immediately placed their sons on their laps. Young and old were flooded with tears of love. The men embraced their sons and grandsons and sat down with them. Seeing everyone so affectionate, powerful Balaram had many doubts. In his mind he said, I do not understand what has happened for the past year. Everyone is so affectionate and their love increases day after day. Is this an illusion made by the Devas, Gandharvas, or Rakshasas? No one but Krishna can bewilder me. Thinking this, Balaram closed his eyes. Then with transcendental eyes, he looked at the past, present, and future. He saw that all the calves and gopas had become dark boys, each decorated with a flute and stick, peacock feathers, Bhrigu Muni's footprint, necklaces of flowers, jewels, gunja, lotuses and water lilies, turbans, crowns, and splendid earrings, endowed with curly locks of hair, making showers of bliss with the glances of their autumn lotus eyes, more handsome than millions of Kamadevas. Their noses decorated with pearls, and their heads and hands decorated with many ornaments, having 2 arms, glorious with yellow garments, belts, bracelets, and anklets, and more glorious than millions of rising suns. Balaram saw that all these forms on top of Govardhan Hill and in Vrindavan forest south of the Jamuna were all Krishna. Understanding what Brahma had done and what Krishna had done, and looking again at the calves and gopas, Balaram said to Krishna, the devotees, Brahma, Ananta, Yama, Indra, and Shiva, always worship the Supreme Lord, who is the controller of everything, who is self-satisfied, whose desires are always fulfilled, and who has the power to create many millions of universes in the sky. Sri Narada continued, as Balaram was speaking, Brahma came there and saw Krishna, Balaram, the calves and the gopas, saying, Krishna brought back all the calves and gopas I took away. Brahma left and saw them all still where he had hid them. Seeing them all still asleep, he returned to Braja and gazed again at Krishna and the gopas. Astonished, he thought to himself, this is a great wonder. From where did all these boys come that now they are playing with Krishna just as before? What is for me only a moment is a year on earth. I don't understand how they are still manifested as before. In this way, Brahma, who bewilders the entire universe, was so blinded by Krishna's illusion that he could not even see his own body. What happened to Brahma, the master of the universe, after he stole the gopas? The creator Brahma became like a firefly standing before the son of Sri Krishna. As Brahma stood, stunned and bewildered, Krishna mercifully removed his illusory potency and revealed himself. With eyes of knowledge, Brahma devotedly gazed at the calves and gopa boys and saw that they were all Sri Krishna. O king, Brahma then said that the entire universe, including all that was inside and outside his body, and including his own self, was all the potency of Lord Vishnu. Gazing at this, Brahma became stunned. He looked like an unmoving tulsi plant in Vrindavan forest. Aware that Brahma had no power to continue gazing at the Lord's glories, Krishna at once pulled the curtain of his illusory potency. Then his eyes covered, the creator Brahma became as if asleep. Awakening him with difficulty, opening his eyes, he saw Vrindavan, and he also saw himself. Now composed and peaceful in the 10 directions, he saw flowers, tulsi vines, charming and beautiful Vrindavan, where without any enemy, fawns play with tiger cubs, doves play with eagles, and snakes play with the mongoose. Brahma saw Krishna with a morsel of food in his hand, searching for his calves and friends in Vrindavan forest. Gazing at him and suddenly understanding that Krishna was Lord Hari, the beloved of Goloka, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, now disguised as an ordinary gopa, Brahma became afraid for what he had done. O king, to beg for pardon from the Lord, whose glory filled all directions, Brahma, speechless with embarrassment, descended from his swan carrier. Slowly he approached the Lord, saying, "Please be kind," bowing down, and with a stream of tears offering argya. He fell down like a stick. Pulling Brahma up, comforting him, and gently touching him as a lover touches his beloved, Lord Krishna, his eyes wet with nectar, glanced at the many demigods now standing far away. When the demigods received Lord Krishna's merciful glance, they called out, "Glory, glory," bowed down and offered prayers. Pleased with them, Krishna offered them all respect. Gazing at Lord Krishna standing there, with his heart filled with devotion, with folded hands, Brahma bowed down, falling like a stick to the ground, the hair of his body erect in ecstasy, and his voice choked with emotion. Brahma offered prayers. So tomorrow I'll continue with Brahma's prayers.